My name is Josh. Today we have 4 cameras, 1 lens, and we're going to be seeing if Francis can figure out which camera is which using the same lens and locations. The cameras we're going to be using today are the Canon 80D, the Panasonic GH4, the Zcam E2 M4, and the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. And the lens is going to be the Sigma 18-35 1.8 Art. All the links to the cameras and lenses will be in the description. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. So when we go to these locations, Francis is not actually going to be with us, so that he has no clue as to what camera is filming what. So I have a feeling Francis is going to be able to easily guess what's filmed on the Canon 80D because of the CMOS sensor, whereas like the Zcam, the GH4, and the Blackmagic Pocket 4K all use MFT sensors and they all look fairly similar. So I think the 80D is going to be an easy guess every single time. Also, when I get into the color grading, I'm going to make these look as similar as possible, so it'll make it even more difficult for him to guess which one is which. Hopefully. Okay, so I'm back from filming at all the locations, and now it is time for Francis to try to figure out which camera is which. So, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you said I should do 30 seconds. I made it a lot more difficult. I made each one 8 seconds with a countdown on each clip.
Oh my god.
But I actually think this might be way easier than I thought because I could clearly tell the difference between the shots, but also I'm the one who shot them, so...
I can't pause. I can't like.
You can pause. That's fine. Do a run through without pausing first. Okay. And if you're unsure, we can do another one after. And then after your second run through, then I'll share the answers. So clean run through the first time, and the second time if you want to like second guess.
All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm guessing which one's the 80D. I definitely don't think that was the 80D, but I could be wrong. That, I think's the Blackmagic. GH4? I won't know until this one. That kind of looks like the Zcam too. All right, I think the 80D was C. I don't know. Well, which one am I guessing for this one? I guess the GH4? Oh. That's really detailed. But why is the left side out of focus?
I know,
that's weird.
That's so weird.
All right, when in doubt, go with C. That's just weird, so I'm gonna go with the GH4.
Right, we're gonna do a second run through. This one, you're guessing the Zcam for this next one.
No. No. They all look so similar. That's the Blackmagic, probably. So I'm gonna go with A. I don't really remember. It's either A or B. One of those two, I think. Nice.
Oh, this one you're guessing the Blackmagic.
This one.
We can do another run through, and this next one you can like pause and such. But what are your first thoughts about all the?
I think I could be completely wrong with everything that I'm about to say, but I feel like the Z-Cam and the Pocket are like I can distinctly tell when we're jumping to those two, and I'm like, all right, I have no clue which one's which. And then same thing with the GH4 and the 80D. They like I'll see like a spike of contrast and like hyper detail or like weird things going on. I'm like, well, it's one of those two, but I don't know which one.
Yeah. It was also hard to match some of them too, because they all have different levels of detail in the sensors. So
yeah,
even though the GH4 and the Z-Cam Pocket all have MFTs, they still have different detail levels, you know.
Oh man, I feel like I got all those wrong though.
So you're still guessing the 80D on this first one, so.
Okay. All right. See, I know the Z-Cam can get really green. Like, it can get really green in the skin tones. So I feel like that's either the Z-Cam or the Blackmagic if the white balance was off. I don't know. But the white balance is never off. And this is really contrasty, which I don't feel like you would purposefully do to your footage, so it's got to be... Yeah. So these two got to be the cinema cameras. For sure. I bet Canon people are like screaming at me right now, like, dude, don't you know Canon colors? Like,
what's your final guess for the first one?
I'm gonna say A.
So you think A is the 80D?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so for location 1, D is the 80D.
Oh,
So go to D.
That was my second
Go to D. That's the one you said was contrasty, and it's with Canon.
Yeah.
Are naturally contrasty, just in
like,
the camera.
Like up here in the hair.
I had to decontrast it, and it's still contrasty.
And my initial thought was, and it's funny we're doing this.
But look how blown out the highlights are in the back.
That's very true.
Wow.
And so what was this first one?
Blackmagic.
Really?
Yeah.
So which one was the GH4?
C.
Okay.
You can tell. Yeah. So yeah,
It's hard to see
A and B are the Z-Cam and the Blackmagic. The Z-Cam is B.
Yeah, I don't notice the blown outness until it's pointed out because there's so much bokeh. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and I was shooting at 1.8, so she did go out of focus a little bit because I was just on a tripod.
Well, man, that was a shocker.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Location 2.
Maybe I'll get better with these as we go on.
Yeah.
All right, so this one GH4 I initially guessed C. These ones I remember were all similar as hell. I'm like, so I'm thinking for the GH4 either A. If it's C, I mean, I don't know what's going on here with the lens.
It is so weird how they'll...
But there's a lot of dynamic range, so...
That is true.
So D and A have the least dynamic range. So, and this is contrasty, more so than D. I'm going to go with D for this one.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, you are correct on multiple levels. D is the GH4. Also, A is the 80D, and you said that was more contrasty, which is always like a clear sign that it's a Canon because of how contrasty it is. And B and C, more dynamic range in those shots. I don't know why the Z-Cam is C, so I don't know why the left side is out of focus and the right side is.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe my camera's at a weird angle. That's why I did that.
The lens might not have been tightened all the way.
That is true. I was having difficulties. There might be some footage of me having difficulties trying to put the lens on.
All right.
So this one you're looking for the Z-Cam.
Oh, I remember this one was really hard. It's between D and B. It's gotta be it. So let's see how well I know my beloved Z-Cam.
And I'm gonna send this to the Z-Cam group if you don't guess this one right.
They are not friendly to Blackmagic people. They really aren't. And I go in there all the time like, guys, it's like practically the same sensor, right?
Yeah, Blackmagic people aren't friendly to Blackmagic people.
All right, so I'm going to go with B. The reason I'm going with B is because I figure if this was shot in ProRes just has like a clarity to it that I never see as much from B-raw footage until like you really over sharpen it, which I know you don't really do to your footage. And I'm going to look really stupid if I'm wrong.
So is that your final answer?
I'm going to say B is the Z-Cam, yeah.
You are correct.
Nice.
Yep, and D is the Blackmagic.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I would hope.
A is the GH4 as well, which if you go to it, it's very obvious when it's the GH4, I feel like. It just has a very specific, it's not contrasty whatsoever.
Now this one I'm looking for Blackmagic. This one's gonna be hard. Okay, so B's gotta be one of the cinema cameras. C could be too if you crank the contrast. Man, this one's hard. What's crazy is the sky looks different in everyone. Like that's what's getting me the most.
Yeah, the lighting kept changing because the clouds kept going over the sun and everything.
Alright, so it's not A. That's ruled out.
What do you think A is?
I think A would be the ADD.
Okay, you're correct.
I could see B being the Z cam. B, C, and D are all rough. That's a hard one for me to pick.
Yeah.
I would lean towards saying C is the GH4. That's where I'm leaning towards.
Okay.
I'm gonna say D for the Blackmagic. I'm looking at the light post, and something about the light post is just telling me Blackmagic. But I mean, this is hard picking between these three. I'm kind of just picking for straws here, but I'm gonna go with D.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, D is actually the GH4. C is the Blackmagic, and B is the Z-Cam.
C. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all these were hard to pick.
All the lighting went away on that shot. Like
B, I was leaning for Z-Cam, just
Yeah.
like the trees. I've shot with the Z-Cam a lot. It's got to look with trees, but I really didn't know. I wouldn't have been able to really pick it out that much.
Yeah. See, well, the Blackmagic shot, the sun was out for that one. Then the Z-Cam shot, the sun wasn't out, so it made it kind of.
Well, man, that was rough.
Yeah. You honestly did pretty well.
Okay, so that was a really cool comparison. Definitely cool to see how these cameras stack up against each other, especially with two cameras that we don't even use much for video or haven't even used much in the past couple of years. Really cool to see the difference between the Z-Cam and the Blackmagic, since they're, to me, like brother and sister cameras. I mean, the looks that we get from wedding footage, broadcasting stuff, we can get them to look so similar. So really cool testing just how extreme I can go and try to pick out these footages. But yeah, I hope this was also beneficial to any of you watching. And if you guys like this, make sure to leave a thumbs up and give a sub to our channel. Thanks again for watching.